Hello everyone, I'm Frank and welcome to Frank Puzzles, and this is today's easy level puzzle. And take that easiness with a grain of salt because it's considered easy by the people on the Logic Masters Germany forum, and there's a lot of really smart people there. Today's puzzle is called A Killer for Tea Breaks by Zero Nickel, and here are the rules. Normal Sudoku rules apply. Fill each row, column, and 3x3 box with the digits 1 to 9 once each. That's normal Sudoku rules. And then we have killer cage rules, which is digits in cages cannot repeat within their cage and sum to the total given in the top left corner of the cage. So these two digits must add up to 6, these 4 must add up to 26, these 4 must add up to 24. These 2 must add up to 16. These 7 digits must add up to 36. And remember, and etc., right? So you can go through the entire puzzle, and therefore this adds up to 6. These 2 digits add up to 6, etc. And remember, you cannot have repeat digits in the killer cages. So an example here, this cannot be something along the lines of like 5, 5, 6, and 8, right? This is not valid as a killer cage solution because the 5 repeats here. Even though this does add up to 24, this is not valid because you have a repeat. So this could actually become then like something like 4 and 9, and now this would be valid because these two add up to 15, which plus 5 is 20, plus 4 is 24, and there are no repeats. So this is just a normal killer cage Sudoku, and I love these, so this should be very fun. Anyways, those are all the rules. If you'd like to play along, there's going to be a link in the description. And now, I'm going to get started. Let's go. Okay, first thing I noticed was the 16 cells cages. There are two 16 cages here with only 2 cells. The only possibility in normal Sudoku is for those 2 cells to be filled with 7 and 9. So this is 7 or 9, and this is 7 or 9. Well, we also have a 2-cell cage adding up to 14. Well, the only digits that can add up to 14 with 2 digits is 5 and 9 or 6 and 8 in normal Sudoku. It cannot be 9, so it can't be 5, 9, which makes this 6 and 8. The rest of this column then, we have a 6, 8, 6, 8 pair and a 7, 9, 7, 9 pair, which eliminates 6, 7, 8, and 9 from the rest of the column. So this must be 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Now, here we have 2 digits adding up to 6. Well, that can only be 1, 5 or 2, 4, right? Because those are the only sets of digits, 2 digits, unique digits, that can add up to 6. We now have a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 quintuplet. So 5 cells, basically, which require 5 specific digits. Because of that, those 5 specific digits cannot be in any of the rest of the cells in that box. Therefore, this must be 6, 7, 8, or 9. And this must be 6, 7, 8, or 9. We also know that the 3 in box 6 has to be one of these 3 cells, which means that eliminates 3 from the rest of the column. So this cannot be 3, and this cannot be 3. Let's see. What else do we have? These 2 digits add up to 6, so it's 1, 5 or 2, 4. Same here. This is 1, 5 or 2, 4. And same here. This is 1, 5 or 2, 4. Now, this cage has 4 digits adding up to 26. However, it cannot. These 3 digits cannot contain a 6 or an 8 because we know these 2 are a 6, 8 pair, which eliminates 6 and 8 from the rest of the cells in that box. Therefore, what can we have here? It can have 7, 9, or 5 at the minimum, right? So if this is 5, 7, 9 at the minimum, that adds up to 21. Sorry, at the maximum. My apologies. This is 5, 7, 9 at maximum. So it cannot add up. So it adds up 21 maximally, which means this has to be at least 5. But if this is 5, then this would have to also contain a 5. So this is not possible. So this can never be a 5. This would have to be at least a 6 then. And the problem is if you try 7 or 9 here, actually maybe it's possible to have 7 or 9. Okay, this has to be 6, 7, 8, or 9, obviously. If this is 6, this has to add up to 20. And that would then have to be 4, 7, and 9 specifically. And this can never be 7, 9, so this would be 4. This would be 7 or 9 with the 6. If this is 7, that means the rest of these 3 cells must add up to 19 without a 6 or 8. So it could, and the rest of, and it cannot contain a 7 either. Is that possible? If this is 7, this does not have a 7 in the rest of this cage. So therefore you have 3 digits adding up to 19 without a 7, a 6, or an 8. So it must have a 9, obviously. And then what's the next minimums? 4 and 5? But 4, 5, and 9 only adds up to 18 at most. Therefore, this can never be 7 then, because it requires 19 to be in the other 3 digits, the other 3 cells, without a 7. So 7 can never work here. If this is 8, the other 3 cells must add up to 18. And it could be 7, 9, and 2 to add up to 18. It cannot contain a 6 or 8. So it could be 4, 5, and 9. Yes, and that does work. So this could be 4, 5, or this could be 4, 5, and 9. And that would work. And those are the only possibilities, because you can't have 5, 6, 7, something along those lines, because the 6 is already taken. You can't have 3, 6, 9. You can't have 1, 8, 9, because the 8 is taken. And so those are the only possibilities. Now, if this were 9 here, these 3 digits would have to add up to 17 without a 6, an 8, or a 9 possible. So it has to add up to, again, 17 without a 6, 8, or 9. So therefore, the maximum would be 4, 5, and 7. 4, 5, and 7 only adds up to, at most, 16. And you need 17. Therefore, 9 can never be here. So this cannot be 9. Which means, first of all, the 9 has to be here, because we showed it in the examples. If this is 6, this has to be 4, 7, 9. If this is 8, it could be 2, 7, 9, or 4, 5, and 9. But either way, the 9 has to be here. In addition, in row 8, we have a 6, 8, 6, 8 pair in that row, which eliminates 6 and 8 from the rest of the row. We also have in box 7 specifically a 7, 9, 7, 9 pair, which eliminates from the rest of the cells in that box a 7, 9 combination. So these 3 cells cannot be 6 and 8 because of the 6, 8 pair, and cannot be 7 and 9 because of the 7, 9 pair here. Therefore, this must be specifically 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. This can no longer be 9. Right. So then the question is, what is this maximally? This could be 4 and 5 at most. So this would be 9. Therefore, this has to be at least 15, right? This is at most 9. So 24 minus 9 is 15. So this has to be at least 15, which is either 6, 9, or 7, 8. This can be at most 17. So this has to be at least 7. So this cannot be 1. Obviously, this can't be 7 or 9. If this is 6 or 8, yeah, it cannot be 7 or 9 because of the 7-9 pair already in box 7. So therefore, this can't be 6 or 8. If this is 6 and 8 and 6 and 8, that adds up to 14. And these two must add up to 10 then, but that's not possible because we only have 4 and 5 at most here. Again, this could be 2 and 5 adding up to 7, and this would add up to 17. Either way, this cannot be 6 or 8, so this has to be 7 or 9 here. Because then this would add up to only 14 again. These two digits add up to only 14, so it's either 5, 9 or it's 6, 8. But we have a 7, 9, 7, 9 pair in column 2, which eliminates 9 from the rest of the columns, and 7. So this can't be 9, this can't be 5. Therefore, what do we have? We know this is 7 or 9. One of these is 6 or 8. Okay. And these cannot be 7 or 9 here. So we know because we have a 7, 9, 7, 9 pair here. The rest of these cells cannot be 7 or 9. What's the most this could be? The most these three cells could be is 5, 6, and 8. That adds up to 19. Right? So if this was 5, 6, and 8, that would be 19. But then that would be a 5, and we would have repeat digits in the exact example that I gave, which was 5 and 5 with 6 and 8. So this cannot be 5, 6, and 8, so it's at maximum 4, 6, and 8. And that doesn't work either, right? Because if you have 4, 6, and 8 here, this would have to be, that would add up to 18, right? 4, 6 adds up to 10. Therefore, this would require a 6 then, and that would have repeats of the 6 then. So it cannot be 4, 6, 8 either. So 5, 6, or 8 is ruled out. 4, 6, 8 is ruled out. It probably can be 3, 6, 8. So this can't be 5 or 6 here. So this has to be 7, 8, or 9. If this is 7, these three digits must add up to 17 without a 7 or 9 possible. Now that does seem likely. You could have 3, 6, and 8. Yeah, as I said. 3, 6, and 8 adds up to 17. With 7 adds up to 24. So this could be 3, 6, 8 with 7. Or it could be 4, 5, 8 with 7. So that also works. But either way, there's an 8 here. If this is 8, these three digits must add up to 16. But you can't have a 7, 8, or 9 there. What's the maximum you can have there, then? 4, 5, and 6, which only adds up to 15. So you can have at most 15 with the 8, so this cannot be 8 then, because that doesn't work. Therefore, you could also have a 9 here, which means that the remaining three digits must add up to 15. 24 minus 9 is 15. So we know this could be 1, 6, and 8. It could be 4, 5, and 6, too. So we are not guaranteed this is an 8. So this could be 1, 6, 8. It could be 2, 5, 8. So this could be any of the possibilities then. So we don't know what these are. But we do know is that this has to be 7 or 9 either way. So we have a 7, 9, 7, 9 pair in row 1. So the rest of the row cannot contain 7 or 9. So this cannot be 7 or 9. We have 4 digits adding up to 26. That's at minimum 2, 7, 8, and 9. The minimum digit you can have in this 4 cage is 2. Because you could have 2 with 7, 8, or 9. So this has to be 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 8. Can you ever have a 26 without a 7 or a 9? 5, 6, 7, 8 only 5, 6, 7, 8 does add up to 26, but you would acquire a 7. So it is possible. Yeah, this has to be 1 through 5 and 7. It cannot have a 9. It cannot be 6 or 8. Okay, so this could be 5, 6, 7, 8. So there has to be a 7 at least here. This could be 2, 8 with 7, 9. So both of these could be 7 or 9. It's possible. Um, what else do we have? Um, hmm. This 36 cell, right? These 7 digits add up to 36. That means it has 7 digits, which add up to 36, which means there are 2 digits which are not in the cage, which must add up to 9. So, what is in this cage? It has to have a 9 there, right? If you have 2 digits outside the cage, and remember, there have to be 7 unique digits here. So these 7 digits add up to 36. All 7 of them have to be different digits. That means there are 2 unique digits that are not in the cage, which must add up to 9. And 9 can never be with another digit that adds up to 9. Therefore, 9 must be in this cage. So one of these 3 digits is 9, because none of these can be 9, which means this can never be 9. So this must be a 7, which means these can't be 7. So we now know of these digits, 7 cannot be in the cage. So what digit can also not be in that cage to add up to 9 with 7? It's 2. So this cannot be 2 then. We now have a 1, 3, 4, 5 triplet in, or quadruple, in column 9. So the 1, 4, 3, 4, 5 cannot be in the rest of the column. Therefore, that makes this 2, which means this cannot be 2. So this must be 4 or 5. This must be 6, 8, or 9. So we now know 2 cannot be in any of these cells in box 6. Where is the 2 in box 6? It must be here. So the 2 must have the 4 with it. So this must be 2 and 4. This can no longer be 2 and 4. And therefore, this can't be 2 or 4 because it has to be 1 and 5. Because if it's either 1, 5 or 2, 4, but this one can't be 2 or 4 either way. So therefore, it can't be a 2, 4, 2, 4 pair. It must be a 1, 5, 1, 5 pair, which means this can never be 5 and 9. So this is a 6, 8, 6, 8 pair. Again, the 4 cannot be in one of these 3 cells because of the 2, 4, 2, 4 pair in box 6. Therefore, this is 1, 3, 5 triplet in column 9, which means 1 and 5 are eliminated from the rest of the column. So therefore, this must be a 4. These 2 cells, again, remember, these 2 cells have to be, is at most 9. So these have to be at least 15 to add up to 24. Well, 7 can only add up with 8 to add up to 15. Therefore, this has to be an 8. This is 15 now. Therefore, this must be 9 because we have a maximum of 9 here. So this is 4 and 5, which means this can't be 4 or 5. This can't be 4 or 5. This can't be 4, 5, and none of these can be 4, 5 because we have a 4, 5 pair here. That forces this to be a 7, 9 pair. So this is 16. Therefore, these two digits must add up to 10. And the only possible combination there is 4 and 6. So this must be 4, and this must be 6, which makes this 8, which makes that 6. This can't be 4 anymore. It couldn't be 1 or 2 because those got the 4 and 5 in the corresponding cell got eliminated. Therefore, this must be 5, which forces this to be 1. So this cannot be 1, this cannot be 1, and this can't be 7 because of the 7, 9 pair in row 8. Okay, so this cannot contain a 5 anymore. We have, let's see, this can't be 6, so we know the 6 has to be one of these two cells here. Because we have a 6, 8, 9 triplet, therefore the 6 has to be here, which means this can't be 6. We also know the 7 has to be one of those two cells. This can no longer be 2 and 6. Actually, this can't even be 5 here. This cannot contain a 5 at all for this 26 cell. This can't be 2 and 6, so it's either 1 and 7 or 3 and 5. This cannot be 6, 7, 8, or 9 because of the 6, 8, 9 triplet, and the 7 cannot be 1 or 5 because of the 1, 5 pair in box 4. So this has to be 2, 3, or 4. Let's see. What about this? This can't be 1 because of the 1, 5 pair in column 3. None of these could be 1 because of the cages. Where's the 1 in box 7? It must be here. So this is a 1. This can no longer be 1 and 5 because the 1 is eliminated. Therefore, this must be 2 and 4. So we have a 2, 4, 2, 4 pair here, which eliminates 2 and 4 in the rest of the box and the rest of the column. So this can't be 2 or 4. Therefore, this is 3. This can't be 4, so this must be 5, which makes that 4. This can't be 8, so therefore this must be 6. This can't be 6, so this is 8. This 7 eliminates that 7, so this is 9. This is 7. And these can't be 2 or 4 because we're eliminating it in the box. This has to be 2, 3, or 6, but it can't be 2 here. This is 2 or 3 because it can't be 6, whereas the 6 in box 7, it must be here. And we have a 2, 3, 2, 3 pair in column 3, so the rest of the column cannot contain 2 or 3, along with 1, 5, or 6. Therefore, the rest of this cannot be 3 or 6. This can't be 3 or 6. That means this specifically has to be 8. This is now 4, 7, or 9, but this can't be 4, and this can't be 4 because of the 2, 4 pair in box 1. Therefore, this must be a 4, and this must be 2 and 9 remaining. This can't be 9, so this is 2, which makes that a 9. So these can't be 9, therefore it's a 7, 8 pair. That 7, 8 pair means in box 6, the rest of the box cannot contain 7 or 8. Therefore, this is a 6, 9 pair. This can't be 9 anymore, which forces this to be 8. And we have 3 digits, 7, 8, and 9, adding up to 24. The last digit remaining must add up to 26 with the 7, 8, and 9. 24 plus 2 is 26. So this is 2, which makes that 4, which makes this 2. The last remaining digit in column 1 is a 6, so this is 6. 1 cannot be in these cells in box 9. Cannot be these cells because of the cages. Where can it be? In box 9, it has to be here. So this is 1. This can't be 4 because of this 4. So this must be 2, which makes that a 4. Let's see. What else do we have here? We have a 7, 9, 7, 9 pair. Actually, let's just do these. This must be 1, 3, and 5. That's fine. This cannot be 3. We have a 1, 5, 1, 5 pair in row 6, which eliminates 1 and 5 from the rest of the row. 6 through 9 were already eliminated, so is 3. This must be 2 and 4, but this can't be 2. Therefore, this must be 4. This is 2, which means this can't be 2, so that makes that a 3. 2 and 3. What is left over here? It must be 1, 3, 5, and 6. Because we have a 7, 8, 7, 8 pair, and we have 4, 2, and 9 already accounted for. This can't be 6. This can't be 1 or 5, and this can't be 3. Where is the 2 in column 6? It cannot be any of these cells because 2, 6 is eliminated by that 6, and this can't be 2 because of that 2. Cannot be here because of that 2, cannot be here because of that 2. Can't be here because of that 2, so it must be here. So this is a 2, which makes this an 8. Okay. What else are we missing? This has to be a 3, 5 pair. Where is the 2? Okay, we have 8 2s, right? So we now can figure out where the last 2 has to be, and it has to be here. So this cannot contain a 2, and it cannot contain a 4. We know the remaining cells in row 1 has to be 1, 3, 5, and 6 because we have a 7, 9, 7, 9 pair, and we have 2, 4, and 8 already. So this is 1, 3, 5, 6. These are 1, 3, 5, 6. This has to be a 4, 7, 9 triplet. Where's the 4 in column 6? Can't be this because you can't have 4 add up with another digit to add up to 8. This can't be 4 because of that 4, and also because it didn't work with this cage. Cannot be here because of this 4, can't be here. This must be a 4 then. So this is 4, this can't be 4. I think we have 8 4s. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, which means we can determine where the 4 is in the last box. It must be here. So this is a 4. Again, we have a 7, 9, 7, 9 pair in row 2, which eliminates 7 and 9 from the rest of the row. So this cannot be 7, which means this can't be 1. This has to be 1, 3, or 5 with 7 or 9 here. This can't be 1 or 5. Obviously, this can't be 3. And this still could be actually all of them, unfortunately. Okay. So then we probably just need to solve this cage. What can it be? Again, if this is 7 here, that means the other 3 digits add up to 17. So it would have to be at least 3, 6. It would be 3, 6, and 8 then, if that's the case. So if this is 7, this has to be with 3, 6, and 8. Because again, it must add up to 17. 5, 6, and 6 obviously doesn't work. And then anything with less than that just doesn't work. 1 and 6 doesn't work because you need an 8, right? So this would be, if this is 7, this is 3, 6, and this is 8. If this is 9, it can no longer be 4, 5, and 6 there. And therefore it can't be 3, 5, and 6. It would always require an 8. So we know that this digit specifically has to always be an 8, because otherwise it just doesn't add up, right? You could have had without an 8 with 4, 5, and 6, but the 4 is already taken here. So this has to be 8, which forces this to be 7, which makes that an 8, which means that can't be 7, so this is 9, which makes that 7. This can't be 9, so this must be 6, this must be 9. We can eliminate 1 and 6 here. So we have a 3, 5, 3, 5 pair in column 7. That means 3 and 5 are eliminated for all the rest of the cells. What does this digit have to be? It has to be a 6, which means we cannot have a 6 here, which means this can never be 7, right? Because as we said, we have to have 3, specifically 3, 6, and 8 here if this is 7. So this has to be a 9, which makes that a 7, which makes that 9. Where is the 6 in row 1? It can only be here. So this is a 6. This can't be 6. Where is the 6 in row 4? It can only be here. So this is 6, right? Because we had 8 of the 6's set. So these two add up to 17. Wait, does this work? No, I don't know why I eliminated the 6 here. Why did I eliminate the 6 here? That was incorrect. Okay, so that shows how not to do it. This is 3, 5, or 6. This can never be 6. Right, so that didn't work, actually. Well, that just goes to show that this cannot be 6 then. I don't know why I eliminated that 6 there. That was weird. So we tried this not being a 6, and then we got that being a 6, but then this would have to be 9. Yeah, so if this is 7, this has to be specifically 3 and 6. If this is 9, that's 9 and 8 added together, which is 17. So these two digits must add up to 7. The only possible combination would be 1 and 6 because 2, 5, and 3, 4 are eliminated. So either way, this must be a 6. So this must be a 6, which means this can't be 6. This can't be 6, and this is 1 or 3 with it to add up with 7 or 9. So this is also 1, 3, or 5. That was interesting. Anyways, we have a 1, 3, 5 triplet now in row 2. That eliminates 1, 3, and 5 from the rest of the row. Therefore, what does that leave us in this cell? It must be a 6, which means this can't be a 6, so this is 3, which means where is the 6 in row 4? It must be here. So this can't be 3. None of these can be 3. And this can't be 3. We have a 7, 9, 7, 9 pair now in... Actually, we already had this. We had 8 8s. So where does the 8 have to be in box 2? It has to be here. Okay. We have one of these cells must be 1 or 5, right? It's either 1, 7 or it's 3, 5. Either way, there has to be 1, 1, or 5 in one of these cells. This is 1 or 5. Therefore, we have 2 cells requiring a 1 or 5 in column 6. So the rest of the column cannot contain 1 or 5. This can't be 1 or 5. And where is the 3 in column 6? It cannot be here, it cannot be these two, and it cannot be any of these filled in digits. Therefore, it must be here, which means this is a 3, 5, 3, 5 pair. That eliminates 3 and 5 from the rest of box 2. There's also a 3, 5, 3, 5 pair in row 2, which eliminates 3 and 5 in the rest of row 2. So this has to be 1. This is 1. This can't be 5 because of the 3, 5 pair in column 6, so this makes that 1. This is 5. That makes this 1. This has to be 3. This can't be 1 anymore, so this is 5, which makes that a 1. So this can no longer be 1. We have a 7, 9, 7, 9 pair now in row 5. So the rest of the row cannot contain a 7 or a 9. Therefore, this is a 5. This must be 7 or 9, and this can't be 1, and this can't be 1. This can't be 1 anymore, so this is 3. So now we have 3, 6, and 8, which add up together, which adds up to 17. 17 plus 7 adds up to 24. So this is 7, this is 9, this is 7. This can't be 3 anymore, so this is 5, which makes that 3, which makes that 5, which makes that 3, which makes that 5. This can't be 3 or 5, so this is 1. This can't be 3, so this is 5, which makes that 3. No 7 here, so that's a 9, 7, 9. And this is just all normal Sudoku, 7, 9, 7, and 9. And that's how we solve it. I wouldn't say it's straightforward, but it's not very complex. So easy is definitely where I would put this too. I have done a lot of Killer Sudoku puzzles though, so this is rather old hat for me. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed the solve, and I'll see you next time on Frank Puzzles. Take care.